Hello and welcome to a very special episode 9, I think it is. Go
Episode
check
9.
that.
It's
Of
9.
the Factor 50 football podcast with me, Michael Grantham, and as always, my co-host Adam Farrell. How you doing, mate?
Hello. Yeah, I am very good, thanks, mate. I'm excited for this special episode, if I'm honest.
It's pretty
Good.
exciting. Something a bit different.
It is very different and much better than international football, even though it was actually quite an interesting week in international football and stuff.
It's good, wasn't it? Yeah, that was mental.
It's good. McTominay. We'll come to him later, but what a guy. What a guy.
Yeah, that was mad.
Okay.
What's been going on in your week then? How's it been?
Well, you've asked me that, and I've immediately forgotten everything that I've been doing, but it's been really. I'm like absolutely rammed at work, which is so boring to say on the podcast. Does everyone want to know that? I'm just rammed. I'm just working non-stop all the time.
Good for money at Christmas though.
Yeah, that's true. It is important.
Money in the bank.
Why is it time? We've booked our tasting for the wedding. So we've got some food we're going to go taste for the castle. So that's
Nice. That'll be good.
that is good.
Do you need any help with that from the best man?
No, I've got that all covered,
Sure,
mate.
sure.
They've actually said you're not allowed to bring anyone else.
Oh, that's no fun.
I had to, and I'm not sure I should say this on the podcast, but only 5 people listen to this. So I think we're okay. I had to fire a travel consultant that I was
For
using
what?
for our honeymoon. So for our honeymoon, I wanted to go somewhere really nice, and I just didn't want to organise it because you know what I'm like organising trips abroad. Like I'm not very good at it. So I was like,
Don't do that. Yeah.
I'll use a travel consultant who will do it all for me, get it all booked, and it'll be great. So yeah, I met him, spoke to him for about an hour, talking through all the plans I'd like. So we agreed on he would give me, because I want to go to Italy. He said, right, I'll give you a cruise option, sort of around Italy, and I'll give you an option where you're on land and you're traveling around Italy on land. I was like, great. He's like, I'll come back to you end of next week, no problem. I was like, wicked, well up for that. 2 weeks later, he's not come back to me. Another week goes by, he comes back to me with one option, which is where we start in Italy and then go to Greece. I was like, that is not what I asked for.
You've missed the goalpost there, mate.
Massively. So I had to sack him. And it was very much like a it's not you, it's me letter.
Yeah.
Like,
Is that an awkward conversation? I imagine that's quite an easy conversation, isn't it? Because like we said we wanted to go to Italy, mate, and you were suggesting booking Greece. You've
yeah.
just gone wrong place in Europe.
I'm not sure you're very good at your job.
Did you pass geography GCSE, mate?
Well, I've since found out this is a new job for him. Before this, he was selling blinds. So I don't know. Maybe he is actually
He
blind.
was fucking blind.
So yeah,
Italy, please, sir. I got it. Greece.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Close his
Athens
eyes.
is lovely.
Picks on a map. Goes, they're going there. Okay. So yeah,
Jesus.
it's been a fun week. What about yours, mate? What have you been up to?
Not a lot really. Work, and generally surviving 2 kids with horrendous colds, and that's that time of year, isn't it? Survive, man. Yeah, Henry's having a sleep regression anyway. I think I said on the last pod. And George got ill last week at nursery on Wednesday. He does nursery 3 days a week, so he couldn't go in on Thursday because he was too ill. So that means it's just a massive kick in the arse, right? Because he can't go into nursery, so you'll look after him. He gets ill from nursery, and then you've still got to pay them, even though you're not allowed to send him in. And then he's at home more, so he's with the little one more, which means there's more chance of Henry getting the illness, which of course has now happened. And so Henry's like in a sleep regression and ill. So he's up like, I don't know, every hour to 2 hours in the night. And bearing in mind, it takes about half an hour, 45 minutes to get him back to sleep once he wakes up. It just means you're basically awake every 2 hours.
I love it because it's
Lovely.
not me. It's great. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. And the exact scenario that you're describing now, I have no sympathy for because I actually profit from that scenario because my fiance, wife to be, is a childminder. So you know what? Keep paying the money.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I get it. You have to keep your place, don't you? But
Yeah.
it's a fucking fleece. These con artists.
Okay.
But there we go. Other than that, the main non-work activity this week, obviously, is booking your stag do, which is nearly there. So I can't say too much about it.
Stag do.
But it's a classic. Like, I'm pretty sure every stag do that has ever existed goes along the same process when you're organising it. You got a WhatsApp group of like 20 people, and then you're just chasing them non-stop. Like, are you in? Are you out? this is what the plan is. This is roughly how much it's going to cost. And everyone's like, oh yeah, sounds good. Let me just check. About 3 months later, everyone's still just checking. But we are nearly there now. We're nearly there, which is good.
Wait until you've got a chase for the money, mate. That's when it really.
Yeah, there is Blake was looking at it. There is like a a company who do that bit for you. So like you book it through them, but then they send out the payment links individually to everyone. So you pay them rather than you
That's quite
collect
good.
it. But it's a lot more expensive. So I was like, for the admin, I'll get on with it. So
Okay. Suck it up.
yeah, but it's exciting. We're nearly there.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But
Which
also,
is a
look,
good job, really. Yeah, no, one of the guys in the stag do who couldn't come. I won't tell you who, but he was like, "Oh, I'm gutted. Yeah, I can't make it for whatever reason. Hope you all have a really lovely time." And I was like, "We will. Farrell won't.
yeah, I can imagine that being the
He's gonna have a
case.
dreadful time."
Okay, fine. Okay,
So yeah.
well, enough about us. Are we doing any social media follower shouts, or are we going straight in to the good
No,
stuff?
let's go. I don't think there's been many, but we can roll them over. Let's go in as it's a special episode. Let's go into the football,
Yeah, all
into
we're
the big stuff.
saying is follow us, you pricks, and we'll click on.
Yes, get following.
Okay. Okay, great. So,
You
if
pricks.
you, so you call our listeners pricks. Listen
Yeah.
up. Um, anyway, so if you didn't listen to the end of the last podcast, which most of you wouldn't have, then
Because we keep calling you pricks.
go on, you pricks, you pricks. If you listen to the end of the podcast, maybe we'll call you pricks. Anyway, so the big reveal is we are doing a review of Pizzagate, the big game
Pizzagate.
where Arsenal were 49-0, turn up to Old Trafford and get absolutely done over.
That's
2-0.
not what happened. That's not what happened.
Played off the park.
That's
Oh,
really not what happened.
we were very good. So I think opening statements from both of us is something that would be interesting to do here. So I'm gonna hit you off with actually a little.
Excuse me?
Okay, I'm gonna suck you off.
I'm gonna tug you off.
Live on the pod. It's get weird. With a stat which I came across, which is actually nothing to do
Okay.
with the game itself, but
Right.
maybe undoes a little bit of your Invincibles tag. So, obviously, you're unbeaten in the league for 49 games. But in the Invincibles season, where you won the league, you actually lost 6 times,
Not the league.
including to us in the FA Cup, so including to United in the FA Cup. In
Yeah.
the 99 team, where we won the treble, we only lost 4 times in all competitions. So if anything, you can claim to be the Invincibles, but actually, you still lost more times than we did in the treble winning 99 season. So I
Not
don't
the
know
league,
what
though, mate.
don't know what else to say to that other than suck my balls. There you go. Let's get very
I
sexual.
don't think anyone gave a fuck about like the League Cup and stuff, but you know, Ferguson did because it counts towards his trophy tally and all that stuff.
You're
But
counting
yeah, we
community
lost.
shield. You're counting community shields over there, mate. You can't talk.
I'll take what I'm fucking given, mate. But no, we lost in the. Obviously, we didn't win any of the cups that year, but there was probably. I mean, Wenger said it the year before. It was 2001-2 season. We went unbeaten away from home. And I think he said it then. He believed this team could go unbeaten the whole season. And everyone, like, can you imagine if a manager said that now? Everyone was taking a piss. So, like, his focus was on, he was trying to do it. It wasn't a fluke. And so I think the Champions League is the one big regret because I think we should have won the Champions League. But the Cups, I think, took a back seat. And if Wenger was renowned for playing the kids, especially in the League Cup. I mean, even if you got to the final, was it 2007? I think they got to the final, and he just started like 17-year-olds. And which I get it because they got you there, but also it's play the best team you've got and try and win the cup once you're there. But so my response to that would be he clearly prioritised the league. He was trying to go unbeaten, so I'm not complaining. No one else ever done it, so fair play.
It's true. It's true. And look, I think actually watching the game was, do you know, I massively enjoyed it for a few reasons. One, the football and the atmosphere is so. Actually, no, the football isn't so good, but the atmosphere is amazing. The way the football is played at such a pace. Like it is, there isn't loads of chances, but it is like end to end quite a lot. Like the ball's bouncing around. This is a weird thing to say. Everyone seemed like really tall and leggy. Like, and the ball was like bobbling around a lot. Like, whereas now you watch football, it's like a carpet. Everyone's these small technical players.
Yeah.
It was really interesting. And one of the
The,
things that came out from the commentator was that every starter there was a full international in that
really,
in both
I can
sides. Yeah,
believe that, to be fair, because we were saying just before we started recording, weren't we? Of those 22 players starting that game, I mean, there's more than half of them probably are Premier League legends, like probably in the top 20 or 30 Premier League players of all time, and that's just starting in that one game.
exactly. Phil Neville was
Yeah,
starting, so that's one.
yeah, and then you had Roy Carroll as well. He was there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Phil Neville. Yeah,
But obviously, Roy Keane wasn't available. Imagine if Roy Keane was playing this game. Ooh, he would
that
have
would
been
have
so.
been heated. No, mate, no, there was no such thing as red cards for Man United in this game, as we'll get to. Um, I honestly think Roy Keane could have like punched Patrick Vieira or something in this game, and Mike Riley would have been like, "Don't do that again, Roy. That's naughty. I'll give you a caution." It's like he forgot his red card, but he was too embarrassed to tell anyone. Jesus Christ, I've never seen anything like it. But I'll save that for later, because we'll come on to all that nonsense.
Okay, fine. All right, let's dig into it then. What's your
Shall we?
initial the first few minutes of the
Well,
game?
I was going to just set the scene a little bit in terms of like
Yeah,
where the season was at. So it was roughly this time of year, wasn't it? It was end of October, this game in 2004, the 4-5 season. So Arsenal, the state of the league table was Arsenal were top, obviously carried on the unbeaten season with, I think we were 8 or 9 games in and we were unbeaten in those games. We were scoring a lot of goals. Reyes had sort of taken off. He was banging in the goals. I distinctly remember this season because I had an Arsenal wall calendar, and every week I would write down the result and all the goal scorers. And I just remember writing Reyes a lot. I think we beat Middlesbrough like 5-3, but we were 3-1 down or something like that. And we just came back and like blew them away in 20 minutes and scored 4 goals. And it just felt like we could not be beaten because we hadn't lost for so long. And I was like 13 years old, so I was a naive little kid. I was just thinking like, yeah, we just can't lose. We just can't lose games. We're just too good.
do you remember
So
writing
we were
2-0
top.
last? Do you remember writing 2-0 last one and crying your little face up? Oh, it's
It was
2-0.
it was 2-0 United, mate, not 2-0 Arsenal. But yeah,
You know what I mean.
I probably did cry. So yeah, we were top. We were top by 2 points to Chelsea, who were starting to buy football, and I think that was like the start of the Abramovich era, wasn't it? And
They
the
win this league, yeah.
multi-million pound spending. They won the league that season, didn't they? So they were just behind us. United, I don't remember this, but they were 11 points behind Arsenal in 6th. So they were off the pace at the start of the season, and basically the media were labeling it like a must-win game for United to stay in the race, even that early in the season. So that's where the league was. I did a bit of Googling as well about the sort of pre-match stuff. And I think, or my sort of underlying feeling about this game was Ferguson knew, obviously he'd been hugely successful, he had his treble winners and all that, and Wenger had come along, and I think Ferguson felt like the balance of power, or like the best team in the league had shifted, and Arsenal, at the point that this game happened, were the best team in the league. And I think I've got a quote here from Alex Ferguson. I think that really sort of, it was weighing on his mind. I can imagine him in his office, like, with as soon as the fixture was released, like I reckon he circled that game and was like, Arsenal are not going to win that game. Like we have to beat Arsenal in that game. And he said before the game, we are still the team, Man United, are still the team every club wants to beat most of all, regardless of who is champions or unbeaten records. So obviously referring to Arsenal. In that respect, our profile as the major club in the country is untouchable. That's obvious and will never change. I think that's more him saying like I think it's really rankled with him that Arsenal are unbeaten because his team hadn't done that. And they've won the league and they're the current reigning champions and they've started the new season on fire. And I think he was like hell bent, come hell or high water, like Arsenal are not, we are beating Arsenal in that game because they can't carry on going unbeaten. And I think the message to his players was kick the fucking shit out of them. And I think I'm not saying he's like bribed referees, but I think he's played the game and, you know, he's pally with the refs and he recognised like, if I can get the refs on my side, not financially or whatever, but, you know, if I can get on well with the refs and get them giving me decisions that they might not if it's a 50-50 kind of thing. Whereas Wenger was like black and white. Yeah, the ref is a machine and he's just going to award the correct decision, whatever happens, because, you know, that was his attitude. Whereas I think Ferguson recognised, actually, these people are humans And if I can be really nice to them, oh, Mike Riley, come and let's have a glass of wine in my office and let's have a chat about football and all that shit. And I think he used that to his advantage to basically give his team the license to kick the shit out of not only Reyes, but the whole fucking team. Because some of those tackles, and we'll go through it in a minute, I couldn't believe what, like, it's assault. If that happened like on the street, you go to prison.
Some of
Fuck
them
me,
are
it's
nowhere near as bad
ridiculous.
as what your people are remembering what they're saying. And I'll get to one in particular, which is the Gary Neville on Reyes. Barely fucking touches it. But anyway, we'll get into that.
I thought you were
What
going to
you
say Van Nistelrooy then.
No, that is nasty for all the right reasons. So what you're saying is, yeah, what you're saying, there's a bit of truth, a bit of underlying of that. So coming into this game as well, I guarantee that everyone knew it was going to kick off. The atmosphere was absolutely incredible at the start of this game, and I think you can see it early doors. The referee, is it Mike Riley?
Mike Riley.
So Mike
Yeah.
Riley has clearly decided, because he knows it's going to be a ferocious game. He's like, I'm not going to get my yellow card out too early. I'm going to let the game play, which in theory is not a bad thing. You want to keep, where you can, 11 men on the pitch. But yeah, it was a conscious decision, I think, from him, Mike Riley, to not go too hard too early. And if I'm honest, you benefit from some of that stuff as well. So let's get into the game. So
Yeah, let's do it.
early doors. So Ashley Cole flies into Ronaldo early doors. Blatant
I thought it
yellow
was
card.
Neville. Was it not?
No,
On
Ashley Cole tackles Ronaldo.
I thought he tackled Neville,
Oh, it might have been Neville. But
but yeah.
whoever it is. But he flies into him. It's a blatant yellow card. He sets the tone. Actually, it's Arsenal who start with the aggressiveness straight away with lots of fouls going in. United initially, at least for the first 5 minutes, it's Arsenal that start the aggressive. So you set the tone, and the referee doesn't give any yellows or keeps his cards close to his chest. So you set the tone now, which allows us to then go and also be aggressive and not get yellow cards. That's what I'm
But
saying.
that's why. So this is why that's wrong. What his approach to not to keeping his yellow cards in his pocket is wrong, because as soon as you let one go, you're setting the benchmark for everyone else. So then players think like, oh, I can get away with that. So then the next one and the next one happens and the next one happens, and it gets worse and worse and worse. If you book someone early for even if it's like a borderline yellow card, if you book someone early, players are like, oh, okay, shit, I can't do that. I'm going to get sent off, and
No, I
it
disagree.
quietens right down.
I think you back yourself into a corner as a ref. I would much rather referees manage rather than. This is why actually I don't think referees can be consistent all the time. I'd rather referees manage a game rather than going, these are the rules every single time, and every time you do that, it's a yellow card. I think there are some times where there's an occasion where the occasion's so big that you have to manage that and go, okay, I'm going to try and keep 11 players on the pitch here. Maybe he goes too far in this game, and it probably makes a rod for his own back. But if every referee just showed a yellow card for every single breach of the rules in football, would there be no one on pitches these days? Would have everybody sent
Oh yeah,
off?
I'm not saying everyone should be booked for every indiscretion, but like the Ashley Cole tackle, I agree that was a yellow card. And if he gives a yellow card for that, like all of the kicking and the rotational fouling on Reyes and all the stuff that follows won't happen.
Maybe. Also, Reyes right at the start, he fucking boots the ball away, and like again, should have been yellow card for dissent for Reyes in
Oh,
the modern game.
that wasn't in the rules back then. Like kicking the ball away wasn't a booking back then. It only became a booking when Arsenal started doing it a couple of years ago, didn't it? It was the start of last season, because that's when the start of last season when we got all those red cards, and back-to-back games we had
Yeah,
Rice and Trossard sent off for second yellows
that
for
was
kicking the
silly.
ball
Yeah,
away. That
but
was
that was
one of those. It was one of the rules they put in at the start of the season. They fixate on it for like 4 or 5 match weeks, and then
yeah.
they don't do it ever again. And back then, I don't think that was even like. I don't think people gave a shit about it, did they?
You do if you like really kick the ball away and like, oh fuck off, like that,
Yeah.
which Reyes was, I felt, was a bit more like that. But I think United looked nervy early doors. There was a lot of long balls being played. We were rushing things
My
a lot.
my first sort of game note was that sort of what you were saying about it being fast. There was no like rush to get into shape when you lose the ball. So like
No,
you get the ball, and the first thing that whoever the player is, like striker or centre back, the first thing is like look for the forward pass. And you can see it happens in the Premier League now, but players are more concerned about potentially the risk of losing the ball and creating a turnover and like, the risk of that. back then it was like it felt like they didn't care. Like, I'm going to play this pass. It's probably not a 90% pass. It's more like maybe a 50-50, or But if I ping this pass through your midfield, we've got like Henry and Bergkamp against Sylvester and Ferdinand or whatever, and it's a really good opportunity. So I just thought, the first impression I got was like, fucking hell, they're just, as soon as they get the ball, it's not like, okay, get into shape and let's start building. It's like, put it forwards, get it to the attackers, and if you lose it, you lose it. And like, I was watching it thinking, like, I was getting frustrated at times because I was like, oh, you've given the ball away again. But you can
Yeah,
see that, like, if they make that pass, you're through the midfield, so you can see why they're doing it. And it's
that
just
is
like
so bang on.
the style's totally different to now.
Yeah, totally different. I loved it.
Yeah,
I massively
I
agree with what
enjoyed it.
you
I did
said.
enjoy that. Yeah.
It's definitely frustrating because they turn around, don't they? And they fire a ball in and it pings straight back. It's
It's like, oh,
literally
you've lost it again.
yeah.
But like, you see why they're doing it.
There's no, like, I think I had a quick look as well. I think the pass accuracy in this game, we were both around about 74%. So
Yeah,
you,
you'd never get that now, would you? It's like
yeah,
85-90 usually.
yeah. So it is crazy.
Yeah.
And then on 11 minutes, around about that time, Lauren clatters into fucking Giggs again, gets let off.
Oh, that's interesting, because I've got I got 4 United fouls before the 11th minute there. Maybe you seem to have glossed over those.
Well, United fouls. What happened there?
6 minutes, Rooney smashed Ashley Cole up in the air. It was just late, like after the ball had gone. 8 minutes was a chance. Was it? I think it was Giggs had a shot that Campbell blocks from.
Yeah.
I think Vieira gave the ball away, or like it went under his foot or something. That was the first sort of decent chance. 8 minutes, Phil Neville, hacks Henry down on the edge of the area, which is like an easy yellow card, but it's not even given a foul. Just after that, Gary Neville tries to cut Reyes in half with a slide tackle. Ref doesn't do anything. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Ljungberg fouled Gabriel Ainse. The ref spoke to him, to Ljungberg, about the foul, but the 3 previous United fouls, it was just like no foul. So not only is he like, he's disciplining and calling cautions on Arsenal players, but he's like going over and having a word with the player afterwards. With the United fouls, it's like, well, they're not fouls. He's not giving them as fouls, but they are, like, some of them are the easy yellow cards, and that's what I mean about, like, that he refs the game differently for Arsenal and United all the way through. He's so lenient on
I don't think
United
I don't think he's lenient at all. I do think there's obviously a couple of big tackles where he's lenient. Let's get into the first big one there with Gary Neville on Reyes.
You've missed what? You've missed the first big one, the first red card on 18 minutes. Rio Ferdinand should be sent off.
Oh, right, okay. I'm Freddie Ljungberg on when he's 1-on-1.
Yeah. So I've got. Oh, actually, Scholes scored a goal, didn't he? On 16 minutes, which was a really good goal.
Really good goal.
Again, United had fouled someone and the whistle had just gone. And I actually wrote down, it's a shame that United had decided to just kick the shit out of Arsenal players, because if they hadn't done that, you just scored a goal.
I think it's so 50-50 at that beginning, though. I can name 10 fouls that Arsenal players have done. You can name 10 fouls that Man United have done.
My list here is every foul that happened in the first 15 minutes. And I've got Ljungberg's foul and Ashley Cole's foul. And I've got like 7 fouls just from the Neville brothers on their own.
Yeah, but you've picked fouls that weren't even called fouls. I can go back and pick loads of them as well. There were loads of them. Again, so Lauren clattering Giggs on 11 minutes. You haven't put that down, have you? Put that down your list? No, I don't think it's on your list.
Yeah. 11 minutes. Lauren, massive slide tackle on Ainse. Great tackle. That's on my list.
Okay, fine.
Lauren had a really good game, actually. Both our fullbacks were pretty good, I thought.
Let's go into Freddie Ljungberg then and Rio Ferdinand. So it's through 1-on-1 on goal. So Ljungberg's basically through. Rio Ferdinand's, they're sort of shoulder barging, but Ljungberg's
he just comes across him and clears him out.
He doesn't clear him out. He gives him a nudge in the back.
He absolutely takes him out. Like, it's not in the back. It's like he just clears him out. He's through on goal. So Ljungberg gets the first touch. He knocks it well clear of Ferdinand. He's never getting there. He's about 30 yards from goal. So the touch is not so heavy that the keeper's going to get it. It's not going out of play. His next touch is probably going to be sort of edge of the box kind of distance. And he's through. It's like he's going to have a shot, basically, as the next touch. Ferdinand just comes across, clears him out. It's a red card. It's the clearest and most obvious, to borrow a PJML phrase, denial of what do they call it? Dogso, don't they? Denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. It is a stonewall red card. 18 minutes into the game. And that would change the entire game, because Ferdinand's your best defender. He's your captain for the day. He should be off the pitch.
I think
Easy. It's so obvious. And what, you
Actually had
didn't
a
even
very
have that in
good
your
game.
notes?
Yeah, I've got it in my notes, of course. Ferdinand had a very good game, actually. And,
Shouldn't
and
have.
look,
He should
I,
have had a very good
I
15 minutes.
I do agree that in today's game, that probably would be given as a red. But I also do agree it's not the most horrific challenge ever. It is more shoulder to shoulder than a absolute clear out and wiping out. Lundberg is like a
Oh yeah,
gust of wind getting knocked over. It's like be stronger. He's playing for it 100%.
Ljungberg is like super strong. I made a note in the second half of like
Not
our
then.
attacking players like Henry, Ljungberg, not Reyes. Reyes got the shit kicked out of him.
He
But
did.
like you could be as strong as you like, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you if the opposition do that. Ljungberg, Vieira, Henry, Bergkamp, like they're all incredible players, and other than Vieira, they're not really renowned for like their physicality. Henry's pace, obviously, in terms of like strength. But if you watch some of the tackles they ride in the second half, like they are fucking strong players. And actually, I think Reyes. I'm not blaming him for all the ridiculous fouls that were on him, but I think where he didn't succeed in England was like he couldn't get up to the like uh, the strength level he needed, or the resilience to ride tackles that, because he's a skillful player, he's going to get the shit kicked out of him. He couldn't ride those challenges in the way that Pires, Ljungberg, Henry, Bergkamp all kind of learnt to do when they were playing in England, and that's I think why he didn't he didn't stay in England for very long.
Henry had a really quiet game as well. Just what I mentioned.
Henry and Vieira. I wrote on my notes were both like, I think Vieira was
I saw
bad. I'd
Vieira
say
running
Henry was
around.
just a bit quiet.
Henry was quiet. I
But
think
I
Vieira
did.
was.
He was this is his first game back from injury. Vieira. I read before. I didn't know that when I was watching it, but I read it afterwards, and that kind of explains, because he was rusty. He gave the ball away a lot. He just seemed a bit off it, I think.
Yeah, fouled a lot of
But
people.
yeah, so 18 minutes, there's your first red card. I'm not saying, like you were touching on there, I'm not saying Ferdinand, it wasn't like violent conduct, or it wasn't like a nasty foul, like the next two we're going to come to, but it's last man. Like, it's a red card. They didn't call it dog so back then, but it was last man. You've taken out the last man. You've denied a goal scoring chance. Red card.
Yeah, but isn't it better when it was down to the referee and it wasn't all VAR? So much better. But it's much
I do hate VAR.
like us two in the pub chatting about this afterwards and like arguing with each other. That's part of the game. I love that. Rather than
I
us
agree with
having an
that, but
opinion.
I've never seen a game where the referee is so wrong so many times, all the same way. It's
No, it's not all
usually
the same way
they
though.
fuck up.
It's not all the same way though. There's a couple of major instances, but there are lots of instances in this game where the
The
referee
big
clearly was
ones
giving
he gets
yellow
completely wrong,
cards. And look, in the whole game, he gives 5 yellow cards. That's it in the whole game. You
and he
got
gives 3 to Arsenal and
and
2 to
2.
United,
Yeah,
which is
so it's pretty fair.
horseshit.
It's pretty fair. Pretty fair. So okay, so that one could be a red card. I admit that could be a red card.
Yeah.
On Gary Neville on Reyes, do you genuinely think that is a red card?
Nowadays, definitely, but obviously the game's not played
Not
now.
even
I
nowadays. He barely
think,
touches him. Barely touches him. If
mate,
you watch him in slow motion, he
literally
Reyes.
takes. I've written. It's studs straight down the back of the calf, Achilles, is Gary Neville's tackle. And the reason it's a red card is he is nowhere near the ball. Like, the ball is gone, and he's just been nutmegged by Reyes.
He has got him, yeah.
Reyes is sprinting away from him, and he's pissed off because he's small man syndrome, Gary Neville, and he runs after him, and he just like rakes the back of his leg. It's not like studs into shit. He's not like stamping on him or anything, but he's stretching full stretch from behind, scrapes the studs down the back of his ankle. It's a red card.
Doesn't even get. You just said it wasn't a red card. It doesn't scrape down the back.
Back then,
if you watch it now, it almost goes like along the side. Admittedly, he doesn't get the ball, but he barely gets Reyes. He barely touches Reyes. Like, Reyes is fine.
Reyes is down for like 5 minutes after that tackle.
He goes down. He goes down. They get the little thing like with like the hot water in it, and just puts on his leg
The
for
squeegee
literally.
thing.
Yeah, for a
Magic
second,
sponge.
and he's fine. He's up. Like, he barely gets touched in that foul. I think that is so soft. I think even in today's game, that is, maybe a yellow. Maybe.
Really?
And
That is a red card, mate. That is a
But it's
red
not.
card
You
all
just
day
said
long.
a minute ago you don't think it was a red card. You were
Like, 20 years ago, I think it's like one of those amber cards. It's a yellow, but you could see if it's given a red, I would understand it. But that's Gary Neville's like third foul in 23 minutes, 22, 23 minutes. That's
Well,
enough for a red card.
the Vieira's done like 5 fouls at this point. He's fucking rampaging around the middle, just taking everyone out with his silly little vapor rub on his fucking shirt.
Iconic that is, mate.
I hate that.
Iconic.
Yeah. What I will say is, when I saw the lineup again and realised Phil Neville was in the middle of the pitch, I was like, fucking hell. And
Yeah.
he looks really out of place for a lot of this game. He's like, how do you not roll through our midfield with Scholes and Phil Neville in there? Like, they're not
Well,
aggressive.
actually, so like Vieira gave the ball away quite a lot. I think, as I said, I think he had a bad game. The one player that I thought out of all of those 22, I
Scholes.
was like, what are you saying was good?
I thought Scholes was head and shoulders over everybody else on that pitch. Every time
You
he
see,
was like
I think,
or tight, he just always played the right pass. It's like, whoa, this guy's amazing.
yeah, no, he was good. I was obviously watching it through the Arsenal lens. I think, and all of the players that we're starting, there's two that aren't in like the famous Invincibles 11. We didn't have Gilberto or Pires. Pires on the bench. Gilberto was out injured, I think. Edu and Reyes were the two who came in. Edu was like, if I didn't know what happened sort of in the rest of those players' careers, I'd have said Edu is the Patrick Vieira. He was
Really?
excellent. He was way better than Vieira was. He set up so the through ball that put Ljungberg in, that was Edu. He won the ball. He was like on the ball. He was way technically better than I ever remember him. I just don't remember Edu. I remember him being like a solid squad option. But he was class. I thought he was excellent. And yeah, I agree with Phil Neville. He was just on the pitch to kick the shit out of. Like, you could tell Ferguson just said, kick this guy, go and kick Reyes the entire game.
Oh yeah, we definitely targeted him because we could. It's like, but that would have been the same in any game anyway. Like back in those days, that's what you did. You did that.
But this
You
is
know
the
what?
thing. If he'd have given him a yellow card early, he has to stop kicking him. He should have just booked him on for one of the third or fourth foul. Book him. That's how
I
you
think
stop that like
I'm not sure if they
constant
happened as
fouling.
much. If people take red cards, there would have been reds on both
You're
sides.
not gonna take a red card after half an hour. Maybe on like 85 minutes or something.
I don't know. Another
Yeah,
person
he
I
was
thought
definitely.
was interesting to watch was Cristiano Ronaldo. So
Yeah,
in
that was.
the
Yeah.
first half, he does so many stupid tricks.
Chops.
I'm like,
Chop.
what? It must
Chop.
have been I was so frustrated watching. I was like, what is going on? Like, there was no way you'd call that this man was going to be the best player in the world. And look, throughout the game, he actually ended up being a really good out ball for us, can bring the ball up the pitch. But in the first half, he was just doing all these little step overs and stuff for no reason. It was like Anthony. It was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, it's like he's obviously he's got all the technical flair and everything, but he didn't have the nous, like the mindset to be like, okay, what am I actually going to do with this skill that I've got, this like unbelievable trickery? And so it was just like, oh, just fucking do a trick, just do a trick for the sake of doing a trick, like you say, like Anthony was. But
what I noticed as well is actually all the Arsenal players were really nice to Ronaldo. Like, whenever Ronaldo got tackled or fouled, they always like picked him up from a hug. At the end of the game, Henry was like giving him a hug and stuff like that. But obviously, Henry was fuming. It was really weird. I was like, why are they?
One of the one of the notes I have was, and not just from Arsenal, but like there was way less protesting. So I think if some of the fouls that had happened in this game happened now, there would be fucking brawls on the pitch. There was still some protesting, like players sort of signaling to the ref, arms up in the air or whatever, and Wenger was doing it a bit on the touchline. So when like Ljungberg gets barged over, no one really is screaming for. Wenger is protesting quite a lot to the fourth official, but the players aren't really like, nobody's surrounding the ref. There were a couple of like brawls. I think there was one at the end of the first half and one towards the end of the game. But like these, and the horrendous tackle we're about to come on to, even then, that was the one that sort of started the brawl, I think. But there weren't that many protests. So like, a bad tackle would happen and most players were just like, oh yeah, that hurt, and got back up, carried on.
I think the
I don't think that would happen.
game restarts really quickly. So there's a foul and it's like boom,
Much quicker.
with it. Whereas now it's just like so slow whenever there's any sort of, because of set piece FC over here. Whenever there's any sort of set piece, it's
Yeah.
all really, really slow. Well, you're right. Like, they almost don't have time to protest. It's like, boom, let's go on with the game. I did see Rooney a fair few times just in the middle of the game, just shouting at the refs and lines. Was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, it was
Yeah.
fun. Okay, let's get on to what I would obviously have to admit is a fucking terrible tackle from Van Nistelrooy.
Horrendous.
Honestly,
Have you seen? So obviously we've watched this, listener, on a YouTube video which is in a foreign language, I think.
very dodgy street, yeah.
Have you seen the English commentary? So like when it was on Sky,
No, what
20
they
odd
say?
years ago. So I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it earlier because I can't remember who it was, the commentator. But he was basically like, so Van Nistelrooy and Ashley Cole are in like our left back position, aren't they, near the touchline? You go to the ball. Cole nicks it away. I think he goes out for a throw in or whatever, and Van Nistelrooy's just a split second late and stamps halfway up Ashley Cole's shin. It's one of those, like, if he didn't have shin pads, his leg's broken.
That's a proper break.
And
that is literally grazing all the way down his leg.
that was a terrible tackle. And on the English commentary, like as it happens, or as soon as it's happened, and Ashley Cole is rolling around holding his ankle or his shin, whoever it was basically saying like, "Oh, he's simulating. There's nothing in that. There's nothing in that." And then it goes to the replay, and they play the replay, and it's like it's very clear. As soon as the ball goes, it's very clearly like a stamp on his leg. And the other co-commentator, I can't remember if it was like Andy Gray and Martin Tyler, and Andy Gray is the one saying, he's diving and he's simulating. And then the other guy goes, he said, "Oh, there's nothing in that. There's nothing in that." And then the other guy goes, "Oh, I think there is something in that." Just as the other replay is on, and it's like, yeah, I think you might have missed that one, mate. Like he's literally stamped on his shin.
Yeah,
it made me laugh because like it's so vintage Barclays that, isn't it?
Well, also as well, I did watch. So the first video I watched had some English commentary on it, and I think 5-10 minutes in, the commentator goes, "I think the ref's playing a really good game so far. He's managing this game really well." I was like, "That is not going to age well."
I don't think he is, mate.
Yeah, that is nasty. That is it's stonewall red card.
Yeah.
But
The thing to note with that as well, Van Nistelrooy doesn't even get a yellow card. So the ref gives a foul, so he's obviously seen it enough to make a decision, and he doesn't even book him. And when I was searching for that English commentary, one thing I found interesting on is it the Overlap or the podcast that Gary Neville does with Roy Keane and Ian Wright and Jill Scott?
Yeah.
There was a clip on Instagram or something. He said the worst tackle he's ever seen is that one, which I thought was quite interesting. Coming from a United player, I think that basically sums up how bad that tackle is.
But also, because I watched that episode, Roy Keane goes, "I don't even think that's that bad."
Of course he doesn't. He literally snapped someone's leg deliberately. Of course he doesn't think it was that bad.
It was fun. And do you know what's not even more funny about that tackle? So Van Nistelrooy does a tackle, horrific, doesn't even get yellow. A few minutes later, Ashley Cole gets a yellow card.
Ashley Cole gets a yellow card. Yeah, that's my next note. So 34 minutes, 2 minutes after that, I think Rooney's breaking. Ashley Cole kind of bodies him. Rooney stays up, and then he kicks him. Yeah. And then at this point, obviously the ref books him, and he's lost the game at this point. And to be fair, like if I'm Ashley Cole, I would lose my fucking mind after what's just happened. And that's what I was saying. Like he doesn't, like, obviously he complains, but he's not really protesting that bad. And none of his teammates are really either. The fact that he's just been stamped on, like easily a straight red card, and they know it as well because obviously he's going to feel his fucking ankle on, his shin on fire. And then the ref gives you a yellow for like a little. It is petulant, but it's like a little
it is a yellow card.
Kick the heel kind of. It is a yellow card, but just the sort of, the irony, if you like, of that situation. I would go fucking mad. Like your emotions are high anyway, and then this referee just goes, "No, he's allowed to stamp on you," and your leg would literally be hanging off if you didn't have that shin pad on. But you've just tapped out his ankle. That's a yellow card spot. But I'd be so fucking angry. I'd be so angry.
And as you play the game on from there as well, Gary Neville does Reyes again and like claims Reyes dive, but it's clearly taking him out.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's funny.
Yeah. The first thing he does that. Gary Neville. He smashes him, and he's like, "Oh, he's diving again, ref." And I think he does get booked, doesn't he? Or is it Phil Neville? Or
no, Phil
Gary Neville gets booked first.
But yeah, then Phil Neville does Reyes again after that, and then Phil Neville
and
gets
gets
booked
booked.
for doing Reyes. I
Yeah,
actually put
and this is
why
where
they
it's.
targeting them, but I don't know why.
I think Reyes is a weird choice, maybe because he's like the younger sort of foreign guy, which I think
Yeah.
is mad. But they definitely targeted Reyes all game long. I actually think Reyes did quite well. He didn't hide away, and I think that would be very easy for him to do because he was playing left wing instead of Pires. I think he does well. Like he doesn't shy from the ball. He doesn't like turn around and refuse chances to dribble past his man. And when you're getting kicked to high hell at Old Trafford by basically a pair of thugs, tiny little small man thugs, you'd be forgiven for doing that. I think he does. The rest of the game he does quite well. He also does well not to get injured. Like if that had happened to an Arsenal player now, they'd just collapse and fold in half, and they'd be out for the rest of the season probably.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
The only other
and
thing
at
that I
point,
like.
oh,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say the temperature of the half is reaching, like it's coming to a boiling point at that point, isn't it? It's starting to get a bit heated.
It is. Like the last big thing I seen that I quite enjoyed was so Henry and Gabriel Heinze sort of have a bit of like a scuffle. Fernand comes running over, barges
Oh yeah,
into, and then Henry like falls into Rooney. And bear in mind, this is
and Rooney shoves him over. Yeah,
Rooney's like an 18-year-old lad at this point. He literally grabs Henry and just throws him to the ground. I fucking love that. That was great. He
yeah,
just
love
didn't care
that.
about anyone. He just didn't care about anyone back then. He was just like, it was great.
Yeah, I think this is a good point to mention. I was going to mention at the end. This is why I think non-Man United fans hate this Man United team, because players like Rooney and Phil Neville, and I think they, well, not Phil Neville, but Rooney definitely grew out of it and has sort of matured past it. But so they would see an opposition player in their eyes diving or simulating or whatever, faking injury, whatever, and they would literally, they did it 3 or 4 times in this game. They like do that thing where the player's on the floor and they stand over them, like almost spitting down at them, like
I know,
in fury about how dare you fucking dive and simulate on my pitch. And then 2 minutes later, they do the same thing. And obviously later in this game, really throws himself to the floor to win a penalty. It's like the irony of, and the fucking, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Where you're accusing hypocrisy. You're accusing someone else of doing the very thing you do all the time.
everyone
Like,
did it back then.
it just fucking winds you up.
Every,
not in
every
this
team
game.
did it. Yeah, you did it as well. You have a go at everybody and then fall over to the ground. It happens all the time. It's just.
When did we dive to win a penalty in this game? When's that happened?
There is actually a dive from Colo Torre towards the end of the game. I win a penalty. Thank you very much. I'll
Oh,
bring
when he
that
gets
up later.
barged off the ball on the edge of the box.
No way! He just goes up, and even he
Yeah.
gets up sheepishly, like, oh, whoopsie, just tried to win a penalty. Like, just a blatant dive from it. That's absolutely outrageous.
No, but they don't like. He doesn't. Colo Torre doesn't stand over players like sort of screaming in their face for doing the same thing.
Every member of your team does. Like, it's you're just
No,
as
they don't.
aggressive as us. Yes, there was a few big moments. Where
People
there
will
are
hate Arsenal
things
for other reasons, but that's not one of the reasons you'd hate Arsenal. This
no-
is why this version of United everyone fucking hated, because they're
Well,
just
no.
hypocritical little ratty wankers.
It's just because they won.
That's my analysis.
Right, so first half was frantic, to say the least. Second half feels like it calms down a little bit more, with a bit more controversy. The first thing I noticed that the first foul in the second half is Arsenal again. So the first foul in the first half is Arsenal.
That's not what I've got.
First foul in the second half is
47
Arsenal.
minutes, ain't Sir clotheslines the error is my.
No way.
first note in the second half.
Sol Campbell gives the first free kick away.
Maybe that's what the ref gives as a foul, but it's not a foul. This is my point. There's so many fucking fouls that it's just like, yeah, just leave it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so I've got that one as a foul. I've got 51 minutes. Scholes he goes in up for a big sliding tackle on Vieira, but Vieira's like legs are just too long and he just kind of steps over him. Did you see on I think it's 52 minutes? There was a drop ball in the corner because the ball boy comes onto the pitch.
Yeah.
Or something, or I don't know. Henri's kind of complaining about it. I don't know. It's not on the replay I was watching, but it looked like the ball's going out of play, and the ball boy sort of just comes on and picks it up. So the ref has to give a drop ball.
Actually happened, but I loved the drop ball. It was Gary Neville and Reyes, and I was like, drop balls need to come back. They were so good. Love drop balls.
Yeah, are they still a thing, or does that not happen anymore?
I think surely not, because people just kick this shit out of each other. You drop a ball in, everyone's just whacking it. Obviously, there's that
smashing away.
Skinhead Rooney drop ball video that always does around where they drop the ball and he kicks
just
12
boots
times.
the player. Yeah. What a lovely bloke. And then I've got the other stuff at the start of the second half. Well, actually, the only other thing that starts second half I've got is Ainsley had a headed chance, I think from a free kick, a Giggs free kick, and we started to look quite dangerous, like sprinting into space. There were gaps opening up, and we had chances. We didn't create clear-cut chances, but like running forward, the running power of this team was pretty fucking terrifying at times. Like they were rapid, and like I said in the first bit, they were strong. Like they would ride challenges, and then they beat as soon as they're over that challenge, they're into it. What felt like acres of space, because as we said earlier, they don't like the sort of resetting and restructuring to shape didn't really happen as much, or maybe they just didn't train it as much. But there was a lot of
Definitely.
gaps opening up.
Yeah, I agree actually. So I put actually the first half, I think United were just the better team, and then second half, like Arsenal actually the better team, especially in the first probably half an hour of the second half.
We did miss actually. There was a big chance for Henry at the end of the first half.
Roy Carroll makes a good save actually to that.
Roy
Yeah.
Carroll, to be fair, considering I would put him a tier or two down from the rest of the players on that pitch, he makes a very good save. I think Henry probably should do better, knowing how well he can finish.
He's just a bit
But
wide, isn't
it
he?
is a good
But
save.
yeah.
It's not the Henry angle. It's not from the left channel. It's from the right channel, and he doesn't have that curl on. So,
Carroll
but it is
gets
a good
out
save.
quick. Yeah, it gets out
Yeah,
quick,
he does
which is
well.
good. And there's actually what I really enjoyed from this game as well. That there's loads of long range shots. It was like because nobody does them anymore. It's like so every time they got a chance, fucking shoot.
I
It was
did
really
notice
fun.
Ronaldo had a couple of really long range shots that were dreadful.
There
Like
was one.
Rose Ed kind of
He's in
shots.
on goal. Rooney, but you just play it through to Rooney, and he's in.
Yeah,
And he decides
I
to
remember
shoot
that
from
one.
like 35 yards. I'm like, what are you doing? Like
I
again.
reckon this day and age, if you played for like Pep or Arteta, you'd get dropped for doing that. I reckon. If
Yeah.
you've got a ball in or a shot from 30 yards and you shot, I think you'd be on the bench in the next game.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
There was a really funny bit where, about 50 minutes, Lauren takes the ball off Gabriel Heinze and is in. So Lauren's steaming through on goal. He could pass the ball. You've got several players you could pass to, and then Lauren just goes America and just shoots for like long range, and it's so
And
shit.
twats
It's
it.
so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I wrote down as well towards the end of the game because Hardy had a kick, and I think that's because Lauren had a really good game defensively. I think there were a couple of chances where he could have put in a better ball or played a pass, and he sort of fucked up the final action. But actually, I think defensively he was really good. He's a fucking warrior as well. I love Lauren.
Yeah, he did do right in this game. There's also about the hour mark. So Lehman gets fouled by Van Nistelrooy. Lehman's like really far out of
Gets
his goal.
stamped on by Van Nistelrooy.
He doesn't. He gives him
He
a little
stamps on his
nudge.
heel. He stamps
Come
on
on.
his heel.
Doesn't.
So Lehman's clearing the ball, and his standing leg, Van Nistelrooy just comes and stamps on the heel of his standing leg.
No,
And
that
again,
is so
no foul,
overdramatic.
no yellow card.
No, it
That's
is a
literally
foul.
exactly.
You get a
watched
foul.
it. Is it giving us a foul?
Yeah. So Lehman's down,
Okay.
like, ooh, my leg. And as soon as the foul gives, he's up and sprinting back to his goal. Like his
Fucking hell. I'll come and stamp on your leg, and then let's see if you're going. Oh, my leg.
He didn't stand on his leg. He nudged him over.
He stamped on his standing foot. It was his foot. It was heel, not his leg. He stamped on his heel. And also, considering how easy refs give decisions towards goalkeepers, how is he not booking him for that? Like, there is absolutely no need to make any contact with Lehman.
We think about the same one. I'm thinking about the one where Lehman's like way out of his goal. Like Lehman's like
Lehman's like towards the left byline.
And
he's booting it clear.
You don't get yellow cards for that.
Nistelrooy.
Even today, if the goalkeeper,
you don't get yellow cards for stamping on players, do you? No, it's not yellow cards.
Okay, shall we get to the penalty? Is there anything else specific you want to talk about? I think we should get.
I think that was my last note before the penalty on 72 minutes. The penalty was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I've got a few before then. So Vieira on Giggs. No, actually, no. I'll come to that because that's after we score. It's a penalty. So really nice bit of play. You got to say, look, Rooney on that left wing, a bit of a 1-2, jinx in. It's it's absolutely horrific from Sol Campbell, isn't it? Absolutely horrific. Right, could have killed him. Could have killed him.
It's one of those classic ones like pre-VAR penalties where the defender puts his leg out, sees it coming, so he gets his leg out of the way. But because of, I guess, the speed of the game, the player dives and the ref buys it. And like with VAR, this is one of the things VAR can rule out easily now, although they don't always, do they? But with VAR, that gets ruled out instantly. But with the speed the game's going, the ref just basically bought the dive. Sol Campbell's fucking furious. I feel like often the reaction of the players tells you what's happened. And like when a defender reacts like that, he knows the striker's dived and bought a penalty.
I was watching this game on my own. I was laughing at how Son Campbell's reaction.
I'd be fucking furious as well.
I agree. I'd be
Little
the same,
cheating,
but instead of like
cheating little
straight
rat.
over to him, he's like, "You, yeah," and you could I could just hear Sol Campbell's voice, which is a strange voice anyway for such a big man.
It's a very soft voice.
Yeah, you. And it was
How dare you, sir?
so funny.
To be fair, I wouldn't pick a fight with Sol Campbell. He's got legs
Oh,
the size
no.
of my waist.
Yeah, he's fucking massive.
Yeah.
And obviously the penalty, there's a lot on this penalty, isn't there? Because obviously the last time Van Nistelrooy had taken the penalty against Arsenal,
Yeah.
he missed Keown in his face, jumping on his head and stuff. And
Glorious.
the way that he scored the penalty, and he's just obviously he goes into the corner of Van Nistelrooy and he's like, yes, and he said that for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I did notice he's on his knees for about 15 minutes.
Yeah. He's
It's
just
like, get up, you horsey faced fuck.
he's loving every
What
minute
is he
of
doing?
it. It was so good. So yeah, I love that as a bit of a like redemption story. I was like, yeah, redemption.
Well, it's not redemption because they cheated to get the penalty in the first place. But I suppose it's redemption for Van Nistelrooy, isn't it? Because he missed the last one and scored that one. But
Yeah.
let's be honest, it was a dive. Like it was a complete and utter dive.
Yeah,
Like, there's no contact whatsoever. And did you see on League of Their Own? Did you see Wayne Rooney on that?
No.
Because they asked they sort of set him up. They asked him, I think, something about like diving and stuff, and then played him that clip. And they're like, "Oh, Wayne, what do you think of this?" And he was still adamant that it was a foul. He was like, "Yeah, no, he touched me. He touched me. There's contact." And they're showing the replay where Campbell pulls his leg away and then Wayne Rooney falls over. And he's like, "No, he definitely touched me. He touched me." Like to this day, he's still sticking with that story. And he said, he told quite a funny story about because obviously they're England teammates, and he said they went away to the next England camp after this game, whenever that was, and he said Sol Campbell didn't talk to me for 6 months when they played for England. He completely blanked, like on the pitch, on the training ground, he just blanked him.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
which is hilarious.
After the penalty, though, like Vieira loses his head a little bit. So Vieira goes in on Giggs just after we scored. It's very reckless. And then, so basically, Scholes and Giggs just play around him, and he loses his head. And he's like 2 foot them. And then
I find it ironic, though. I agree that was a booking, but I find it really ironic that as soon as that happens, the first player over screaming in Mike Riley's face to probably send him off is Phil Neville.
Of course,
who's already committed. Fucking like his entire game is just kick players, and as soon as it like this is what I mean. As soon as it's dished out to them, they're like, "How fucking dare you send him off referee? You can't do that!" And then they'll do it like 10 times a game.
But you've done the exact same thing. So like what you're saying that we're doing,
not,
you've also done. So you can't make that same argument. It doesn't make sense.
We're not screaming in the referee's face.
Absolutely,
Sol Campbell's screaming in Rooney's face. Sol Campbell's screaming in Rooney's face.
I've seen Vieira in this game go over to the referee.
I said that the Arsenal players in this game do not protest enough. Like when these fouls are happening, they're sort of, the player on the floor might be protesting a little bit. Ashley Cole was flapping his arms around when he's nearly has his leg broken, justifiably so. But they're not doing it enough. United are doing it all the fucking time. We're not doing it enough. Like that's one of the things that surprised me. They should protest way more.
But then after this, there's like a series of fouls that you guys do. So that one, Vieira. Then Edu on Scholes around 80 minutes. That's madness. That's basically a red. And then you've got the Ronaldo penalty.
That's not a red card.
And then you've got the Ronaldo
Edu one
penalty.
on Scholes.
Yeah, Edu on Scholes. And then you've got the Ronaldo penalty, which should be a penalty. That is a stonewall. That would be given.
The one thing I will agree on with you is that is more of a penalty, way more of a penalty than the Rooney one.
Yeah,
like the Rooney one is not a penalty. The Ashley Cole Ronaldo one, there is contact on one of Ronaldo's feet. I can't remember.
Yeah, like he slides in, he takes his trailing leg sort of thing. But that goes to show it sort of equals out in the game. There you go.
It doesn't, because if it equaled out, you'd have been down to 8 men in the first half, and the game's totally different. Like you can't. All of this is null and void because the game shouldn't happen as it does.
Fish in.
I mean, it's very easy to say when you win the game, isn't it? But
it's all good fun. And then we didn't make a sub until the 85th minute. I think Sahar comes on. Alan Smith comes on, and then
Alan Smith comes on for Ronaldo.
Yeah. And Alan Smith played actually really well. He did a great tackle on Henry sort of late on as well. Now there are, and the atmosphere in the last 10 minutes is like huge, and obviously we break away. Actually, Giggs should have scored before that, so Giggs has a breakaway.
90 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
should have scored. Should have put it to bed
It was a good
then.
save. Lehman made a good save. Or he sort of closed him down, closed the angle down quite well, I think.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a shit finish from Giggs, and then obviously Rudy wraps it up nicely. Thanks to an Alan Smith crossed the ball over, which was very good. We finished 2-0. There's a rumor I wanted to ask you about that's done the rounds,
Yeah.
saying that underneath Arsenal's tops, few players had 50 not out, like ready to
Really? I've
to
never heard that.
showcase afterwards. Yeah, apparently there's a rumor that they were going to do 50 not out,
That would have been lovely.
but it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? When you lose, like, can't take my top off.
Well, I mean, like when strikers break the record goal scoring number or whatever for their team, they have shirts usually, don't they, printed in case they get there. I'm sure there was one a few years ago of a player, like it was a goal away or something from breaking some kind of record, and he wore this shirt for like 8 games or something. Like it took him ages to get there,
Oh, really?
and he
Okay.
sort of jinxed himself. I can't remember who it was now.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
yeah,
And
I've never heard that before of the
I heard
50 not out thing.
that was Rooney's first goal at Old Trafford as well, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah. For United.
yeah, for
Although
United.
it probably was his first at Old Trafford as well, wasn't it? It was his 19th birthday, I think, or just before his 19th birthday or something.
Yeah, absolutely massive. Is there anything else you want to say to wrap up the one of the greatest games I've
Um,
ever watched?
so after the game,
We got to talk about after the game.
yeah, so Wenger, I've written 2 notes sort of post-match. Wenger criticised the ref's performance, which is completely fair because he was fucking shit. And he called Van Nistelrooy a cheat because he's a
Yeah.
cheat. And he got a £15,000 fine, which, I mean, that's probably pocket change, isn't it? But he was fined for saying that. And then my last note was obviously Fabregas. I think it was sort of rumoured at the time, and then he admitted it, didn't he, like a few years ago,
He didn't know if you
that he threw a pizza at Sir Alex Ferguson. And my last note is he threw a pizza at Sir Alex Ferguson. It should have been a rock. That was it.
He was 17 then as well, Fabregas.
Yeah, I know.
Quite a bit
The
of
fucking
pizza.
balls on him.
Well, is
Yeah.
it? It's like all the players are like fighting in the middle, and he just grabs a bit of pizza. He's like on the side
Pizza.
from the kids menu. Like, oh,
I do wonder if he meant to hit, like, was he aiming for Alex Ferguson, or did he just like chuck a
there's
bit of
no
pizza?
chance. Yeah, there'd been a massive melee because I think Vieira was involved, wasn't he? Obviously, Van Nistelrooy was involved, all that sort of stuff.
Probably.
Um,
The other thing that I thought is, like, there's no one questioning why have these elite athletes got pizza in the tunnel? Who's eating pizza?
he's
Shouldn't it be
17.
like kale?
Yeah, he's 17, mate. He's
Should be
he's a grown
chicken and
boy.
rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially with Wenger, you would think he would be all over the.
Exactly. Like, it'd be very un-Arsene Wenger-y to be like, oh, good performance, lads. Let's get down the tunnel and have a Domino's. Like, who's doing that?
Yeah. I was final thing for me. I miss that rivalry. I miss
Yeah.
the ferocious atmosphere. I miss the speed of the football. For me, the football nowadays, and it probably hurts me even more because obviously United are shit these days, which is painful enough anyway. But
Vindication.
it's just nothing's as fun as that noughties football. 90s noughties football for me will always have a special place in my heart, being amazing to watch.
Yeah, I think to that point, I think like the stages of the Premier League have different outstanding qualities. So you've had the technical era where you've got like David Silva and Alexis Sanchez or whatever, and like these incredibly technically gifted players, and they are the best players in the league. We're obviously in a more like physically dominant, running power kind of era now. I think back then it had like the perfect combination of all of it, because you've got these players who are like incredible technicians. You've got people who are like fucking 100-meter sprinters on the break, but then with that they've also got the physical power and strength to compete in challenges and duels and stuff. And also you have got, obviously back then, the more lenient referees who just kind of let shit happen. Probably why more players got really seriously injured after they retired, because they're carrying, like, they play through these fucking horrendous tackles that they wouldn't do now.
And they
But
play
it
long
was a
as well.
really,
They play because they only
yeah,
have 5 subs. In that game, we made a first
yeah.
80th minute, and you can't make as
We
many.
made one sub that whole game, yeah.
Yeah, so you got to play all the time.
Yeah. And I think it was like a really good combination of all of the best attributes. The top of the Premier League. I do think there was, obviously we're heavily focused on the Arsenal and United, which at the time was first and second place in some combination for years. I think the lower down the Premier League, the teams weren't as good as they are now.
100%. Yeah.
They weren't as well coached. But back then, like the top of the Premier League was some of the best teams you've ever seen, I reckon.
Yeah. And just the most enjoyable product to watch. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was
Really
very
fun.
entertaining.
Well, I enjoyed that special episode, mate. Obviously, it was nice for United to be winning a game against Arsenal for once. That was nice for me to experience.
Give you a little like pick me
Ooh,
up, right?
got the taste
After
for it.
all the yeah.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that
Don't
too.
get used to it.
Yeah. If you've got any more ideas for special episodes you want us to do, we typically do them in international breaks. Let us know. Comment. Maybe we need to get an email address, Mike. Factor 50 email address. The
Oh yeah,
just
maybe we should do that.
email in. I mean, we could do one, but
Yeah.
no email us. So we could
We
just
can
make
email ourselves with ideas. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
We have also spoken about. I don't know if you wanted to say this on the podcast, but we have spoken about doing an in-person episode at some point over the Christmas break if we get a spare afternoon or morning or something. That would be quite cool. So we could do a special thing for that. If anyone's got any ideas what that might be, that'd be cool.
Definitely. Cool. Should we get to Adam and Mike's predictions?
Yes, the mad predictions, Mike and Adam predictions. See what I did there?
Nice. I like that. Can you give us a little jingle?
Yeah. Mad predictions. They're predictions and they're mad.
So far,
I spent all week rehearsing that. I didn't really.
Okay, so the scores on the board from last week were: it was 5 points to Mike, 4 points to me.
And a bad week.
England games. So the first game was England-Serbia. Mike, you went for 3-1 England, so you get a point because it was a correct result. I, however, went for 2-0 England.
That's not good news.
A perfect score for me. So 3 points. He's pulling it back. Yes, I did just dab in. And then
is that a thing? Is that still a thing?
I think it's from like 2010s. The dab, maybe.
Oh, to me that the dab feels like a brand new.
Oh no, the
thing to do. No,
I've got a 13-year-old daughter, and the dab is gone, long gone.
It's dead. The dead dab.
Dead.
The dab is dead.
But I still do it.
Dead dab.
Dead dab. And then we had England, Albania, and you went for a balls out scoreline of 5-1 England. Which does give you a point. I went 3-0 England. I think we both sort of, and I get a point as well. I think we both sort of didn't look at the table very much and saw that Albania don't concede goals and they're actually in like a really good vein of form.
I didn't realise that at all until you just said.
5-1. So 2 points for Mike, which puts you on 7 points. 4 points for me, which put me on 8 points.
I thought you'd be further ahead because you got a correct result last time or something, didn't you?
No, I didn't get a correct result last time. I got you got a minus point. So we're on 5 last time, and now it's 8-7 to me.
Okay. So
it's still very close, but for the first time this season, I'm leading.
Take the lead.
Long
way to go. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Don't worry.
It is. Okay, so we've got some Premier League fixtures coming up for us.
I know who we've got. Who have you got?
So let's have a look at the matches and get the home and aways and the score. So we're playing on the Monday. So we're at home. We're at home to Everton. So you play first at home to Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs!
Yes, the big one.
Okay, well I went. I think you went first last time.
Okay, you go first then. Do you want to pick the?
So I'll go for Arsenal Spurs. I'm going to go for Gabriel's out, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Ooh, you're backing Spurs for a point. Okay, that's good news for me.
What are you going for?
Definitely a home win. Like we've been good against Spurs, or more specifically, Spurs have been bad against us. I think in recent years. The only thing that gives me slight concern is they've been good away from home and not good at home.
Exactly.
But I think we've been good enough at home to beat them. I think they are still a bit of a mess. I will go with 3-1. I'll go 3-1. I'll have just Gabriel being out. I think that will have a bit of an impact. So let's say 3-1 Arsenal.
Okay. So then you get to predict Man United, Everton next.
United, Everton.
Sets goes out.
Oh no! Now you still won't score goals. let's. I think you'll win. Although Everton have been pretty decent, haven't they? Were you going to win? You are not very good. And I did back you. I backed you last week, and you fucked up in the last minute. Oh no, you scored a late equaliser, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to go home win. 2-1. I'll go 2-1.
Okay. Well, we do always concede. So I'm going to go for 1-0 United.
So you just said we always concede, and you're predicting a clean sheet.
Yeah, it's got to happen at some point, mate. It's got to happen. Can't
The
keep
law of
conceding.
averages.
Can't keep conceding.
Yeah,
Okay, so I've
it's
gone
bound to.
for 1-1 Arsenal Spurs and 1-0 United Everton. Mike's gone for 3-1 Spurs and 2-1. Sorry, not
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal
Just
and
clear that up.
2-1 United. Brilliant. Well, that brings us to the end of our special episode. Thanks very much for listening, everyone.
There we go. Yeah, thank you as always for being there, listening to us, subscribing, and all that stuff. And if you're not already, make sure you do. Otherwise, we'll call you pricks.
You pricks.
You bunch of pricks. I think if you've got this far, you can class yourself as a not prick if you listen to the whole episode. Like fair play.
Yeah. You're out of the prick club and you're into the 50 club. Welcome.
Back to 50 club.
Nice.
There
Brilliant.
we go.
See you later.
Thank you for listening. See you later, everyone. Bye bye.